Hey everybody, DeLong Shot Signatures here. I'm going to show off another binder of some autographed cards that I'm for some sets I'm working on. This is my modern hockey sets, and this is everything from 2009, 2010 Upper Deck up to not the current year, but last year. I haven't bought any of the current year stuff yet. I'm not sure if I will, but I think I already showed off one of the sets that's within this. I'm just going to go ahead and do it again in the new format. So I won't be going through each and every individual card, but I'll kind of talk about the sets as a whole, some of the more unique cards that I've got, and my thoughts on some of the sets and all that different stuff. So my hockey fandom really got started probably back in 2005, 2006. We went to a local Indiana ice game. And started playing some of my hockey video games that I had at the time, but that's when I really got into it. Of course, that team wasn't on any of the video games, so I tried to find the team with the closest uniform. At the time, the Indiana Ice had a blue kind of uniform, and my favorite team from there became the Toronto Maple Leafs. So I grew up kind of watching them a little bit, but I wasn't super into hockey, more so the video games. And then started getting back into it with these Upper Deck trading cards, as well as I think NHL 11 had come out or was about to come out. So really started watching hockey around this era. So I got a few of these signed back in the day. I know the Alexei Ponikarovsky was sent to the Carolina Hurricanes, I think, when he played for them later in his career. I was able to get future Flyers captain Claude Giroux. But a lot of these have I since got them in the past few years, whether they're still current players or they've moved on, retired, maybe they're in a front office role. But a lot of really cool cards in this, and I just absolutely love the 2009-2010 era of Upper Deck, whether it's the football set, baseball, and then the hockey. It's such a nice border on the card. It's simple. You can see through it. It doesn't take up too much. It really lets the photos kind of shine, but it's just a very simple but very cool looking set in my opinion. So I was able to get some really good cards back then. Chris Osgood stands out. He still signs now, but at the time, he was still playing and everything. One of the really cool things was the big rookie that year was John Tavares. He was the first overall pick, so everything was, about him and, was he going to become the next great superstar of the league? And there was a card that was shown on the side of the blaster boxes. I really wanted to get that one, and unfortunately never did. I think it was like an autographed jersey patch, something like that. But what I didn't know at the time was the Young Guns cards were really hard to get for the rookies. And one of the hardest to get is John Tavares. Whoever the big name rookie that is that year, it's usually really, really difficult to pull one of those. Well, in one of my first boxes of hockey cards, I was able to pull it. So really, really fortunate to have this in the collection. In the past, he has signed TTM. I haven't seen anything come back from him in a while. The Maple Leafs have become really bad about TTM requests. So I'm not sure if I'd be willing to send that. It's not in the greatest condition. It's not worth getting graded or anything like that. But, it would be harder to replace just because it's like over $100 as for what the card's worth. Because they actually did kind of short print them back in the day. Some of the bigger names and everything. Versus nowadays you can get a whole bunch of Connor McDavid cards. Those are still worth money because it's Connor McDavid, but there are so many of them out there in the market that realistically it's not worth as much as people think it is. But really like this set. Anytime I can add to it, I try to. I just sent out some more of these cards to hopefully get back signed. Then I got a couple smaller sets in here from around that era. I'm not working on them or anything. If I actually really tried, I could have gotten a lot more victories signed it back in the day. This was a small set that I had a few cards of that I thought was really cool. Jason Pominville, that came back after 6 or 7 years. First Rick Nash autograph. Pavel Datsyuk. He's pretty much impossible to get now. One of the few Joe Thornton autographs I have in my collection. And then the next year, I bought a few packs of cards. I wasn't as big of a fan of it. And I kind of fell out of watching hockey for some time. So I wasn't super interested in collecting any cards or anything. So I think like the Matt Carl and the Joe Pavelski, I was able to get back in the day. But a lot of these are ones that I have since gotten. But I haven't been super focused on it. It is a nice design now that I look at it, but just not one that really stuck out to me at the time. A couple more victories from that year. St. Louis was a pretty decent signer. Now he's the head coach of the Canadiens. We'll see if maybe he signs through there. Luongo's been a pretty good signer. Started collecting cards again around 2013-14. I had a whole bunch of these. Got maybe 4 or 5 of them signed. I know the Tavares from this season I got signed around the time. But again, a lot of these I sent out well after the fact. And there's a lot of really good names in here. A lot of guys that still play. I was surprised by the amount of Young Guns cards that I owned that I didn't have to purchase afterwards that I could send out. So I think the Danny DeKeyser I already owned. Pretty sure I already owned the Coil. Had to buy the Hurdle. And then got a couple Joe Pavelskis there. I saw a couple successes from him after he joined the Stars, but nothing since. I haven't been able to get him in years. But he's my favorite player in hockey of all time because he was the first guy to sign an autograph for me. Got Ben Bishop back in the day. He's now retired due to injury. Really didn't see him sign all that much after that. I had a Peter Mrazek and Philip Forsberg autograph or rookie card and got those autographed. They're really good signers. Mrazek's with the Leafs now, so I'm not exactly sure if that still holds true. Another one with the 2015-16 set. Not super focused on it. If I can get someone, especially if it's like a rookie card, I'll go for it. But I'm not super hyper focused on it. Then once I got to college, I thought, hey, you know, they still make the hockey cards. There's a lot of good players now. I haven't done this in years. I'm just going to buy a couple boxes, send out to some guys, and see, you know, who all I can get back that currently plays right now. And so since the 2017-18 season, I have been working on this set. I think I just reached or just passed the quarter mark, over 25%. And this has all been TTM through the mail. I don't get anything in person. I don't really live anywhere close to a hockey market to where I could go there constantly. Nothing's been purchased. I don't think I've received any via trade. So every single one of these has been through the mail. So a lot of really cool ones in this set. A lot of guys that are still really great signers. Got Chara. He's going to be in the Hall of Fame. He just passed Chelios for most games played by a defenseman. Let's see, Lee Stempniak. I think there's an address out there for him now, but I was pretty stoked to get that. Tyler Seguin, found a home address for him. Derek McKenzie, I know he still works for the Florida Panthers. This was back when the Minnesota Wild were like a fantastic through-the-mail team. You could get just about any player. There's still some good signers on that team. They're just definitely slowed down quite a bit. Not everyone's as cool of a signer. Shea Weber, before he had to stop playing due to some back injuries. Nicolet Kulaman, he was a former Leaf, so it was cool to get that one. Rick Nash, I think you can still get one per from him if he's still with the Blue Jackets. Scott Wilson, I saw someone else get this card back. They sent to the Rochester Americans when he was with the team, so I did that too and was able to get those. This is the only return I've been able to get from Jake Allen. He's now with the Canadiens. The Sedins started signing pretty reliably after they retired. They're still involved with the Canucks, but they're in a front office role. Really awesome Marc-Andre Fleury. I got this Jason Garrison signed. It's probably hard to see the silver on it, but I got that signed recently. So all, technically 4, but all 3 main cards from Series 1 for the Golden Knights I was able to get back. Love this rookie card design. I think it's really cool. and there were a lot of awesome rookies that were willing to autograph these. Most of these guys are still in the league. Gillies is in the league. Gurianov. Hayden, I know, is still playing. Sanheim's still with the Flyers. Carlson's still kind of up and down. Formenton is. I haven't seen McCaution. Tage Thompson's killing it with the Sabres. Not that that requires very much nowadays, but, you know, a lot of good players there. Got Ryan Miller right before his last season. Got Evander Kane after he got traded to the Sharks. Sharp came back after about 4 years. Larkin was through the autographs for a cause program for Detroit. He's the one who charges the most. It's $30, 2 items at most per year. So I think he's the captain there, so I expect he's going to stay there for quite a while. Hopefully he stays a part of the program, even though he's kind of expensive. It's worth sending to him. Tavares, got him again for the collection. Ruedel still with the team, with the Penguins there. James Van Riemsdyk, I was super excited to get that one back, but I wasn't as stoked that he signed the back of it. Some more Golden Knights cards from their first year. I think that was the only William Karlsson success I've been able to get. And then some more rookies. Again, a lot of those guys are still involved in the NHL to some degree. Tippett's really having his first real pro season. Ville Husso's having a good year for the Blues. Cabo Bianco's having his first real season. And then they have these update cards that are included in SP Authentic or SPX. I'm not sure what it is. But there's like a small set of like 30 or 40 additional cards. So some of the guys that get traded, they'll put them in there. Some additional rookies. And then this past year, which you'll see some of those later, they just made it its own set, and it's another 250 cards. I bought these 2017-18 Parkhurst to go along with these. That way I had more, TTM material to send out. So most of the guys that I have in this set, I also have in this one, but there are some that either didn't sign the Upper Deck card, didn't have the Upper Deck card, or I didn't have the Upper Deck card. So I have them only in this set, but not in the Upper Deck. This one I think is a 300 card set. I think about 100 cards through, maybe, somewhere around there. A lot of the same names. I think Michael Granlund I don't have in that other one. Got Carey Price in this one. I don't think I've been able to get him in the other one. I could be wrong about that. It's been a while since I've really gone through. Tavares again. I ended up getting 2 Brock Nelsons by accident. Dion Phaneuf. Sent to him while he was with the Kings, and then he retired. And then I got those back. Not sure where I could send to him now if he would still be willing to sign. Robbie Fabry via the Autographs for a Cause program. Some more Golden Knights cards. Got a Marchessault in there. A couple more rookies. I was able to get Philip Hedl while he was with the Hartford Wolfpack, but I didn't have his Upper Deck Young Guns, so I purchased that over the summer. He was sent down to the Wolfpack at the start of the next season. Sent those cards to him to get signed, hopefully, and he got called up the same day. So probably not going to be seeing those come back. Then for the more recent sets, since that one, I've tried to get guys here and there when I can, especially the more reliable signers, but just haven't been able to focus on them too much. And with COVID and the shortened seasons and everything like that, a lot of players became really reluctant in signing for some time. So I imagine those requests have been thrown away and are long gone. But still got some pretty cool ones in here. Trying to see if there's anything that's unique. Another Marchessault, Colin Miller. Started getting some rookies back recently. That one was within the past couple weeks. Got Roslovic after he was traded to the Blue Jackets. First Oliver Bjorkstrand autograph. Jake Muzzin. Let's see who else. Matt Duchene, got that when he was with the Blue Jackets. Some more Golden Knights. Some more rookies here. No huge names in this. Probably the biggest one would be Zach Aston Reese. He's been pretty good for the Penguins for some time. Only one update card in that one. A lot of those guys that were traded or were part of that set weren't great signers. I think this is 2019/2020. Jesperi Kotkaniemi, if I don't trip over those words. He's now with the he's now teammates with Andrei Svechnikov. Svechnikov's a really good signer. I'm surprised he is with how high he was drafted and how good of a player that he is, but I'm happy for it. Some more cool ones. Paul Stastny with the Golden Knights. Got Rudolph Balcers. He's back with the Sharks. Philippe Myers got that back this season. Almost done here. I've still been going through and sending out these cards. Occasionally get them back from time to time. Not as frequently as I did in 2017-18. But, still always worth sending. Then this was last year's set. Pretty nice design. I didn't like it at first, but that's how I feel with a lot of sets. And it started to grow on me. So I've sent out a bunch of these this season. Hopefully some of those come back. Was able to get Joseph Wool before he made his NHL debut, which is rare for these Young Guns cards. Almost always the player has to have played in an NHL game officially. But because of COVID and, supply chain and all this and that, it became really hard for Upper Deck to meet those criteria and get the product out in a timely manner. So they kind of waived that rule. So there's a lot of players that have not played in an NHL game yet, or hadn't at this point, that are part of this set. I think Ville Husso was kind of the same deal. I think they thought he was going to start playing, got some preseason action, and then he ended up not. So that was kind of a weird one. We'll hopefully add some more to this set. Again, the 2009-2010 and then the 17-18 set are my main focuses. But anytime I can add to the other ones, I really enjoy it. I've tried to enjoy hockey a little bit more. It was kind of hard to do so during the bubble and all this and that. It was obviously really tough on players and everything. I'd like to see the game grow some more, be a little bit more entertaining and everything. But still cool to watch. Still enjoy watching, the Maple Leafs and the Sharks. Not as much the Sharks anymore because they aren't that great. But let me know what you guys think. Hopefully this gives you guys some ideas if you haven't sent out to any hockey players. There's still a lot of great signers that are in the NHL right now. You just got to know where to look and know which teams to write to. Let me know what you guys think. Really appreciate you guys watching. Helps me out a lot. Best luck with your guys' collecting. Take care.